Hi everybody, welcome to Churners, welcome to DayZ on the PlayStation 4, though this video could apply just as much to the Xbox and the PC. And the question I'd like to answer in this video is it worth having a DayZ Nitrado private server if you're a solo player? Is it worth having a whole server to yourself if you haven't got a community of friends who play DayZ? Is it worth investing that money in the game to play DayZ? So what do you get when you get a private server? Well, basically you get the whole of the game, you get the whole of Chernarus with just you and a load of zombies and the country to deal with, and that's it. Nobody else wandering around. And what this means is things like the loot table are as they should be, I think is probably a good way of putting it. So what that means is as you're wandering around looking for stuff, you'll probably find it easier to find items because people haven't taken them, they haven't looted them, they haven't hoarded them in barrels or places in different places, and you won't find you won't find people duping, because you can't dupe on a private server. Well, you might, maybe people have found out ways of doing it, but it's difficult to dupe on a private server. And plus, you're the only one there, so if you did decide to dupe, you'd only be cheating yourself. And I find it a much more chilled out DayZ experience. Now, it's still dangerous because you've got zombies wandering around and you could fall off cliffs and do things like that, or freeze to death, or starve to death, or die of thirst. But it's really cool. But the most important thing I think about private servers is you can control the day and night cycle. Now you know on my gaming channel we have our DayZ PS4 private server. Hopefully we're going to be bringing on an Xbox private server fairly soon. One of the biggest benefits, apart from having community and having things like safe zones and having which we set out ourselves, by the way the game does, and having different factions, the biggest thing that people have enjoyed the most, I would have thought, is the ability to have a Chernarus where it's daytime all the time. You can go into the settings on your server and you can set the day multiplier. So on my private server, I would have a days that last 6 hours and nights that last 15 minutes, because it's so frustrating, isn't it, when you're on the public servers. Hello, what's that? Some rope. And you log in and it's night time, and maybe you're a fresh spawn and you've only got, maybe you haven't got any flares, you haven't got a torch, and you think, oh, and you don't know where you are, and so you leave that and then you join another server and you've got to wait a bit because it says you've changed servers. What's that down there? We'll have that knife, thank you very much. And then it's still the night time, and before you know it, you've wasted half an hour and you haven't even been playing the game. Whereas with a private server, if you've changed the day and night settings, even if it's night time, just hunker down, make a cup of coffee, come back, bang, it's daytime, and you know you've got 6 hours worth of daytime to play with. So that is really, really cool. Now, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. One thing I would say is I am a Nitrado partner, so down in the video description down below you'll see a link to go to Nitrado to get your own PS4 or your PC private server. Now with Xbox you have to go through the Nitrado Xbox app on your console. I think it's £9.30 a month in GB pounds to get a private server, because it's got 10 slots, so up to 10 people can play at the same time. And then you can go in, you can change the name, you can change the password. As I say, you can change the length of the night and the day. That's about it, though. The only other things you can do is you can change whether there's a crosshair on the screen, and you can change whether you can force the game just to do first person's perspective. I think we'll have that one. Let's drop that. Let's equip that bag instead. You can choose first person perspective, if I can get my words out. So it's a bit like a hardcore mode, but at the moment there's no other customization options, and you have the options to like roll back the server to early states and things like that. But it's that time difference where you can make those days last for hours. I mean, you could have a 12-hour day. You can have a longer than that if you want, and you could have a 2-minute night if you wanted. Something like that. So, and I think that is very, very powerful, and you just enjoy the game much more because you're not having to mess around playing at night. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a place for nighttime play in DayZ. I just think the devs have got it wrong with the server browser, and the fact that when you go into before you go into a public server, you should be able to see whether it's daytime or nighttime, and then make the choice about whether you want to do it, because lots of people don't like playing at night. I know I don't mind playing at night when I'm fully kitted up, when I've got like a torch and I've got a weapon, and I've got armour and I've got a helmet and all that sort of stuff. But as a fresh spawn, it just isn't any fun where you spawn in and you think, well, I've probably got 45 minutes of a night still to go. So there we go. And the other thing, of course, with the private service, if you want to, especially with Nitrado, if you can do it for a month. If you don't like it and you just want to go back to public servers, you can cancel it. There's no like long contracts you've got to sign or anything like that, or be involved in. Or you may well then start getting people to come and join your server and say, well, come and join, and you can have fun that way. So, in answer to the question, is it worth having a Nitrado DayZ private custom server if you're a solo player? As long as DayZ is probably your most important game, you play it the most, and you've got the price of a few posh coffees a month to spare, I'd say absolutely you will super enjoy DayZ. In fact, I think the private server experience is often more addictive than the normal public server experience, because you don't have to worry about getting shot or worry about not finding loot like you do in the public servers. But anyway, I think I've got my point across. That's enough from me. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, put your questions and comments down below. If you'd want to join our PS4 private server, you've got to be over 18, and then you've got to either become a member of my Patreon, or you've got to become a paid member of the Discord, the paid member of YouTube Gaming, or you become a member of the YouTube channel. That's it. And if you're over 18, and you've got to be over 18, sorry, and you can come and join our Discord as well. And I'll put all the links down below in the YouTube description. Anyway, as I say, that's enough from me. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.